This here's the story of Aaron Kelley's bones. Aaron Kelley was dead, deader than a doornail. And so they went out and they bought him a coffin, and they had a funeral, and they put him inside that coffin and took him out to the graveyard and buried him. But that night, he got up out of that coffin and he came back to his house. His family was sitting all around the fire when he walked in. He sat down next to his widow and he said, "What's going on here? You all act like somebody gone up and died up here. Well, who's dead?" His widow, why, she looked at him up and down and said, "Why, you are dead. You're the one." "Well, I don't feel dead," he said. "As a matter of fact, I feel pretty fine." "You don't look fine," said the widow. "You look dead. You'd better go back and get in the grave where you belong." "I'm not going back to the grave until I feel dead," he said. Well, since Aaron wouldn't go back, his widow couldn't collect the money on his life insurance. And without that life insurance money, why, she couldn't pay for the coffin. And the undertaker said that he would take that coffin right back. Well, you know what? Aaron didn't really care. He didn't really care at all. He just sat by the fire, rocking away in a rocking chair and warming his hands and feet. But, his joints were dry and his back was stiff. And every time he moved, why, he creaked and he cracked. Now, one night, the best fiddler in town came to court the widow. Well, since Aaron was dead, the fiddler wanted to marry her. And the two of them sat down one side of the other next to the fire. And Aaron sat on one side, and while the fiddler sat on the other. "How long do we have to put up with this here old dead corpse?" the widow asked. "I don't know. Something's got to be done about this," the fiddler said. "Why, isn't that all jolly? I say we play some music and dance." Well, the fiddler got out his fiddle and he began to play, and Aaron, why, he stretched himself and he shook himself and he got up and he took a step or two and he began to dance all around. With his old bones a-rattling here and a-rattling there, and his yellow teeth a-snapping and a-snipping, and his bald head wagging, and his arms a-flipping and a-flopping around and around, while he was spinning around like a top. His long legs went a-clicking and a-clacking, and his knee bones a-knocking, and he skipped and he pranced all around the room. How about that for a dead man dancing? But pretty soon, a bone worked loose and it fell right onto the floor. "Why, look at that," said the fiddler. "Play faster," said the widow. And so the fiddler, he played faster. Crickety-crack, crickety-crack. Down and back the dead man went hopping, and his dry bones kept it-dropping, this away and that away, and the pieces, they just kept a-popping. "Play, play, man, play," cried the widow. The fiddler fiddled, and the dead man danced, he sure enough did. But then Aaron, he fell apart, and he collapsed into a pile of bones, except for his bald old head bone. That grinned at the fiddler, cracked its teeth, and kept dancing. "Why, look at that," groaned the fiddler. "Play louder," cried the widow. "Ho, ho," said the head bone. "Ain't we having some fun now?" The fiddler couldn't stand it. "Widow, I'm going to just go on home." He left and he never came back. The family gathered up Aaron's bones and put them back in that coffin, and they mixed them up so he couldn't fit them all back together. And after that, Aaron stayed right in his grave. But his widow, why, she never did get married again. Aaron had seen to that one.